So one is pensions, where I think we've got a very big agenda, rightly so, very big changes in the pension landscape. We've got the retirement outcomes review and all the work that's been going on for retirement outcomes. We've done work on workplace pensions. In many ways, the single biggest area in this country is mortgages. I think that's always a focus for the FCA. Interest-only mortgages, again, something that we've in many ways inherited from past practice. As we face up to different challenges, and particularly the challenges of ageing population, long-term saving, people going into the housing market later, the whole question of lending into retirement and lending into older age is changing, and we're having to adapt to the rules to meet that. And I'm pleased that actually, I think many commentators in the outside world recognise that the FCA is being flexible in that area. We've also brought to conclusion an implementation, another very important piece of work, which is the asset management market study. I think the industry has come to accept the importance of it, the conclusions of it, the importance of greater transparency. Actually, and in doing so, I think accept more the importance of this industry to savings in this country, to savers.
There's not an area of people's financial lives that the FCA hasn't been involved in, whether it's their borrowing, a lot of work in high-cost credit, but also in the mortgage sector, or their saving, work on the asset management sector, and work on retirement outcomes as well. These are really critical parts of everybody's financial lives. And the FCA has a huge amount to do and has done a huge amount in the last year.
So MiFID II, one of the biggest pieces of European legislation I think that the FCA or its predecessor has had to deal with. Fundamental change to the whole, in a sense, structure of regulating financial markets. Major changes therefore both in rules and policy and also in the systems we use in all our market regulation. Second big one this year is one that really sets the scene for the future actually, which is so-called PSD2, and that's been another very important piece of policy and rulemaking for the FCA. And we've also had to set up a payments department within the FCA, again to handle all of that. The third thing I would highlight is actually not an EU thing, it's very much actually a UK piece of regulation. It's the senior managers regime. Now that was initially implemented for banks, and part of what we've been doing for the last few years is ensuring it's been bedded in for banks. And now we're moving it on to both insurance, which has been done through a piece of European legislation initially, but then for the whole of the rest of our set of firms, and that's something that's on the way to coming in. First of all, we've been supporting and advising government, obviously, on the process, on both the transitional or implementation arrangements, i.e. how we, in a sense, see our way through the change, and then also, obviously, on the second and very important part, which is what is the long-term steady state relationship in financial services going to look like.
So we at the FCA have an enormous agenda. There's a lot on our plate, and we need to prioritise to make sure that we're using our resources to deal with the most urgent and important issues facing people's financial lives. And it's incredibly exciting to hear feedback that the FCA, that we are making a big difference to people's financial lives. The other very exciting opportunities that we have this year are to change the way we work as we move to a new building in Stratford and upgrade our technology. And I think it's also an opportunity for us to ensure that we have the very latest capabilities to deal with the technological challenges that the financial industry will be facing as a new generation of artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data fundamentally affect the way that financial products are sold to consumers.